Hey guys, Kinsey here, and I wanted to start off this video by thanking you guys because I just hit 5,000 subscribers, and that's pretty awesome, so thank you very much. And today I'm going to talk about some of my September pickups, and I had so many pickups this month that I actually am going to put it into 2 videos, so I'll release a part 2 later, and that's going to have more of my thrift store finds and things like that. But this one, I'm going to start off with what I found at PAX West this year. So this year I got to go to PAX West, which is actually held here in Seattle, Washington, and I didn't have to work, which was great, so I actually went as like an attendee. It was weird, and there was so much to do, and I didn't know, and there were so many people. But anyways, I actually found chances to buy some stuff, of course. So the very first thing I did when I got to PAX West is I rushed to the Pink Gorilla booth because they had some copies of Octodad, Dadliest Catch, available from Limited Run Games, which aren't available anymore on their website. And I didn't get it because I'm horrible at like, this goes on sale at 10 a.m., you better buy it. No, I'm real bad about that. So I was like, oh, well, they have some, I'll go there first. So it was pretty awesome that they had these. I wasn't gonna get them like on each platform, but like they started ringing me up for the Vita one, and then I was like, do you have the PS4 one? And they're like, yes. And I was like, okay, I'll take both. I'm sure, like, either I'll keep it forever, or one of my friends won't get it, and ta-da, here's an extra. So I'm really excited that I got this. And next, so I really like The Witcher, like, a lot. So they have one of the comics, the first issue of the Curse of Crows. And this has the con-exclusive cover variant. So for $5, I couldn't say no. I already read it, and I'm already excited about going on a new adventure with Geralt. And then also, this was at the Dark Horse booth, and I could have spent way too much money at that booth. So I ended up just getting this, and I also got the World of the Witcher video game compendium, and I'm really excited about this book. It was kind of expensive. I think it was like $40 or something, but they had a special edition that was $100, so I felt like when I talked myself out of that one, this one was seeming pretty cheap. So, but it's cool because it's kind of like an art book meets a lore book, and it's all written from the perspective of Dandelion, which if you read your quest log in The Witcher, it's also written from the perspective of Dandelion. So, and if you haven't played The Witcher, Dandelion in the books and in the game is one of Geralt's kind of friend, companion sometime on adventures, and he's a bard. And it's funny because he's so poetic and like wistful and all these things that he doesn't really match up with Geralt's personality, so the fact that he hangs around is kind of fun, and it's just another one of those charming things that The Witcher does so great. So, I'm really looking forward into diving into this and actually reading a little bit, because also what The Witcher does, if you read the books, you'll notice that a lot of the quests are taken from the books, and then they also, like, mention characters with no, like, why they're mentioning them or who they are. They're like, oh, you know that guy? And Geralt's like, yeah, I know that guy. But you as the player, if you haven't read the book, you don't know that guy. So, it's kind of nice that the way they do that. So it kind of makes me feel like I'm in the know since I read the book. And the books are pretty good, so I do recommend them. But I am really, really excited that I got this. Alright, and next up, so, I have a little bit of a plushie problem and a Dragon Age problem. But, so this little guy, this is the con-exclusive Golden Nug. And I've kind of looked at him like several cons, and because I have the regular Nug, and part of me is like, that Nug is just yellow and more expensive. Why do I want it? And then every time at the end of the con, happened at PAX East this year, I went up to the booth and I was like, do you have the Golden Nug? And they're like, no, we're sold out. Like, by the time I decided I was finally gonna do it, so they're always out. So I went first day, got him, he's ridiculous, he squeaks. I'm sure dogs love him because of that, but he's pretty cute. He'll go well with my regular Nug, so yay. All right, and then next up for my kind of pickups. So at PAX West, I was on a panel with Chris Kohler and John Hancock. And Chris Kohler does this awesome panel almost every con he goes to, which is the Retro Games Roadshow, which is awesome. It's just like Antiques Roadshow, but for video games. So people bring in their games, and then him and his guests, which at this point was me, told them what they were and what they were worth, and kind of little stories about our collecting experiences with similar items. So after that panel, and the panel went great, but after that panel, there was a guy that came up to us and like kind of brought some swag for Chris. So we got to reap the benefits, and I'm really excited about some of this. All right. First up, which you probably won't really be able to see, so I'm probably put an image closer to the camera. Well, whatever. You'll see it eventually. So I got some Nintendo Power Pins, and they're pretty cool. On the little plaque, it says, "Here's your official Team Power Pin. Welcome to the ranks." And I got one in kind of a gunmetal and blue and golden red. So I was pretty excited about these. And next up is a nice little quirky item, and I love shit like this. So this is a Star Fox Adventures air freshener. And this I was actually really excited about because it's one of those just dumb collectible things that I love. And I was one of the like 8 people who love Star Fox Adventures. So very exciting. And then lastly, he brought some banner. There we go. I'll have to show another picture of this because it's way too big to show. But it's a really awesome like retail kiosk Game Boy Color banner, and I'm really excited about this. He also brought us a N64 one, and then John Hancock took that. So we got all kinds of swag from this panel, and it was really, really cool. And it was really fun to like see all the collectibles that everyone was bringing. Alright, so next up, I'm gonna do a beer review. If you've seen my videos before, you know I like to sprinkle in beer reviews with my video game pickup review, whatever it is. And what I chose for this one, so September is PAX West season, but it's also fresh hop season for beer. And what a fresh hop beer is you can only make them during the harvest season for hops. Because the whole point of a fresh hop beer is it goes from being picked to the beer kettle in 24 hours. That's why it's called a fresh hop beer. And I think it is one of the like kind of like last true seasonals, because we get pumpkin beers every year, but just like, you know, the Halloween decorations like at the store that keeps coming earlier and earlier and earlier. Pumpkin beers now start in like July or something. So this one, like, you can't really do it early. It's only during that like 1 month or so, depending on the region, of when you can have a fresh hop beer. So I think that's really cool. So this one is from Fremont Brewing, and it's the Cowiche Canyon Fresh Hop Ale. So this is a Yakima Valley hops. And what I like about fresh hop beers is they do have that like kind of unique, fresh, almost like a wet hop taste. Well, wet hop is another name for a fresh hop beer, so they're very good. They have like, I don't want to say a dank taste because that makes it sound bad, but it's really good. It adds like an extra kind of hoppy, floral-y note to it, and it's absolutely wonderful. If you like IPAs or things like that, or hoppier beers, this is a really nice way to kind of go to that like next level of delicious hopness. And it's Fremont Brewing, so you kind of can't go wrong. Pretty much all their stuff is damn good. Alright, so next up, I'm gonna do my pickups that are like new games. So these are my non-thrift store pickups. So to start with, it's the BioShock collection. And this one was crazy excited about because I was actually going to do a BioShock overview video, and then when I found out this was coming out, I was like, no, I'm gonna wait and I'm gonna play them remastered, and it's gonna be fantastic, and I can't wait. So I've already started the first one again, and I was thinking about it, and I haven't played it since it came out. So that was like forever ago. So I'm really excited to dive back in. There's already been a couple things that I haven't remembered. So yes, I'm replaying it, but there's still new surprises to be found, and I'm really, really happy to be back in Rapture. It's awesome. So if you were on the fence about this, but you want to replay BioShock, I think this is a really good way to do it, because it is $60, but it includes all 3 and all the DLC. So this one, like, sometimes I'm iffy on HD remasters or collections or things like that, but so far this one's been worth it for me. Alright, and next up is a indie title, Among the Sleep. And so when I got this, I was thinking, oh, well, it's rated teen, how scary can it be? So, and I'm a really big wuss. I'm not great at horror games, but I really like them, so I like to play them in a group, or like, if I get too scared, I can pass the controller, things like that. But, so I started playing this, and maybe, an embarrassing amount in, like, 20 minutes in, I was just like, I don't know if I can do this. Because it does a really good job of, like, yeah, it's rated teen, so it's not going to be, like, gory and horrible, you know, but you're seeing all this from the eyes of, like, a toddler. And it does a pretty good job of capturing the moment if you were that toddler. So, yeah, I'm fucking 30 years old, but I was terrified. So far so good. I'm not very much farther than after that 20 minutes, but this is one I'm definitely going to get back to, so I'm excited to try this one. Alright, and next is Nero, or, well, it's an acronym, so Nothing Ever Remains Obscure. So, I know this one hasn't gotten, like, the best reviews, but I did find it cheaper than retail, so that makes it a little bit more worth it. And even though where it kind of lacks in, you know, it tries to do that kind of visual novel, emotional puzzle game thing, and I hear that it lacks in some areas, but it's still beautiful, so, you know, for what I paid, I don't really regret it. I'd like to see where it goes, so we'll see. So next up is Worms WMD, and this is the all-star version, which means it comes with some extra downloads. You can get, like, masks and themes for your teams, which is like Rocket League and Goat Simulator and Broforce, Payday 2, Saints Row 4, and more. So I thought that was a pretty fun little addition. And this is a all-new Worms game, and it's 2D, and it's amazing. So I was really looking forward to this because a lot of the, like, whenever they try to do, like, a new Worms game, a lot of them are 3D, and those ones, I feel like they just don't work as well. So I was really excited to hear about this one, and it's 2D, and it's fun, and it made me, like, really reminisce about, like, my times playing Worms on, like, the PlayStation 1 and the 64, and it was really, really fun to play it again. So I don't think this is a full price game either, so worth it. Alright, and next up is Song of the Deep, and I've actually played maybe 10 hours of this, about, maybe a little bit less, and it's really, really cute so far. It's basically like a puzzle platformer. Well, it's not really platforms because you're underwater, so whatever, but it has pretty fun combat. You can upgrade your boat, and it has a really cute story of a little girl trying to find her father. So far, so good. And again, I don't think this is a full retail price either, so it's been really fun, it's really cute. It does borderline a little bit on boring at certain parts, but all in all, the visuals are really nice. Published by Insomniac Games of Ratchet and Clank fame, so it does have a little bit of oomph behind it. So it's pretty good. I'm enjoying it. Alright, and next up, I picked up Assault Zoo Linos, and this is actually a remake of a Mega Drive game, or it came out as Target Earth on the Sega Genesis in the US, but it's a mech combat game, so I haven't tried it yet, but I'm really excited. The visuals look great, so all the trailers and screenshots that I've seen, so I kind of couldn't pass this one up. So being a Genesis kid when I was little, like, this is a must-have. Alright, and next up, I have another beer, and this is the IPA by Gigantic Brewing Company, and I kind of wanted to go with this just because when I was thinking about beers that would match with PAX, when I saw Gigantic, I was like, yeah. Because I noticed at PAX, like, I didn't play as much as I wanted to, and I don't do lines. I get overwhelmed with crowds pretty quickly. So I spent a lot of times like wandering and shopping and talking to friends. And every time I thought about getting in a line, I'm like, oh, that line's like an hour. So I did play some indie titles, so that was awesome. So actually, the Indie Mega Booth was probably the place I spent the most amount of time, because if I waited in a line, it was like one person, and it was great. But, so, Gigantic Brewing Company is in Portland, Oregon, and this is just their standard IPA. So let's see how it is. It's very much a hoppy Northwest IPA, but it's not very like piney, like that bitterness of the kind of hops a lot of people don't like when they say I don't like hoppy beers. This is a lot more like citrusy, so I'm thinking they probably use like Centennial and things like that. It might say on the bottle. Yeah, Cascade, Centennial, Crystal, and Simcoe. So they have quite a bit of the like more like citrusy range of hops. So it's a pretty good combination, actually. It's not as good as the Fremont Fresh Hop, but still pretty good, especially for their just like, I don't want to say generic IPA, but it doesn't have a name, so I guess it is a generic IPA. But it's still pretty good. Alright, so those are my new game pickups and my pickups from PAX West this year. And so I'll be releasing another pickups video for September just because I bought so much stuff. And that'll be all my thrift store finds. So thanks for watching and thanks for subscribing. You can find me on the internet at Kinzilla, Kinszilla, on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. So thank you very much.